Hey there, this is Vicki Arsenault, and you're listening to another episode of Facing Your Fears. All right, how many of you out there are in the midst of midlife? Now, I'm about at the midst of midlife. I have an uncle, my mom's brother, who is 95 years old. I'm 48. So there's like a 47-year gap between my uncle and me. Can you imagine? When I was thinking about that the other day, I was like, oh my gosh, this is insane that 48 seems like, in my daughter's eyes, old. It's not old to me, but, it seems like you're up there in age now. Your kids are raised and everything. But then you think, wow, my uncle has actually lived my whole lifetime over again. And the funny thing is, he's still able to drive and he's very sharp, very quick-witted. He's the oldest of 9 and my mom is the youngest. She'll be 80 this year. So it's just funny to think about it in that perspective. And when I thought of it the other day, just saying, wow, I'm only half of his age, just slightly different, but half his age. So I know I've said this before on here, but when I think about this first half of life and how it was growing up and learning all the things, learning the alphabet, learning to drive, learning to get along with people, getting my first job, getting married, having children, buying a house, doing college, doing all the things, right, that you're supposed to do in that first half of life. And now realizing that I'm at this second half, like turning into this second half where I don't have any of those responsibilities. My biggest responsibility now is helping take care of my mom as she, declines a little bit and I have to take her to appointments and take her shopping and do all those things, which I totally love to do for her. So it's awesome. But what can happen is when we get to this place in midlife is that we start to second guess ourselves. We start to get in a rut. We're just doing the same things over and over. We start to feel like maybe our life isn't our own, or maybe you're sitting in a place thinking, okay, my kids are gone and I just don't know what to do with myself now for the second half of life. There's so much mystery out there. You may even have the mindset that, I'm 50, I'm 60. There's nothing left in life for me. There's nothing new I can do. And I'm just going to tell you straight up, that's not right. I don't care how old you are. You can always do something new. So here is a blueprint I want to give to you for thriving through this time of life. It can be scary not knowing what to do next. And maybe you're at a point, if you're listening to this, that you're aging out of your career. Maybe new people are coming in to replace you, or maybe you're at the point that you are ready to retire and you don't know what to do after that. So here is a 3-step plan that I want to give to you today. So first of all, I want you to look at your current reality. Where are you right now? And think about the places where you are satisfied in your life and the ones that you're not satisfied in. So there are lots of areas in our lives that we feel really awesome about. Some people, I worked with a lot of women when I was health coaching that got to this age and thought, I don't like my body. My body's changing. I want to lose weight. I want to be healthier. I want to do this. So they were not satisfied in that area of their life, but they loved their family life. They loved being able to play with their grandkids. They loved the income that they were bringing in. So they had some areas that they were really satisfied with and some that they were dissatisfied with. Sorry, I'm stumbling a lot on this podcast, but like I told you, I don't edit them. So we just kind of go with it on the fly and hope it comes out okay. Okay, so anyway, and then, so we're looking at your current reality, just seeing where you are in life. This is where I am. I earn this much money. I live in this place. I am this size, whatever thing. What is your current reality? Next, where are you satisfied and where are you dissatisfied with certain areas of your life? And then third, taking the time to discover your purpose. What are things that you really enjoy, or where do you think it is that God is leading you to go? Does it mean you're going to be leaving some things behind in order to move forward? Most probably. Okay, so that is the first step, is to just kind of recognize where you are in your state of life right now. Then the next part is to revise. Now, this is where you think about, how would you like your life to look? Maybe you're sitting there and you're feeling really stuck right now. What would you like your life to be? If you could wave a magic wand, woo, you wave it. I'm waving my hand right now, but you can't see that. You're waving your magic wand and your life looks how? Then think about what actually brings you joy. Does your job bring you joy? Does just laying on the couch watching a movie bring you joy? Does sitting out on your porch drinking a cup of coffee bring you joy? What kind of things bring you joy? And then what would make you feel fulfilled? Like maybe right now you feel like there's something missing. Maybe you feel like your job is kind of boring and you don't really feel like you're making much of a difference. Maybe you're just going through the same stuff day in and day out and you just don't know. What do you think would be the thing that would make you feel fulfilled? And now for the next part. Reinvent. Now this is where it gets really fun, guys, okay? Because you have to make a decision about what you are going to change. Remember, things don't have to stay the same. If you want them to stay the same, they can. But if you want them to change, you're going to have to change some things. Otherwise, it's going to stay the same, right? That seems like pretty basic. But so many times people get stuck thinking that they can't change, they shouldn't change, they don't know how to change. And I'm telling you, you just have to take one thing and make a decision that you're going to change it and then just go for it. And it starts a ripple effect of change in your life that is positive. So ask yourself, okay, when you figure out what it is you want to change, you've got to ask yourself, what steps am I going to take to make that change happen? And then, when do you want to see that change by? I know I told you before in a prior episode that you have to set a date for this. So I think I shared with you my STIR method, which was that you want to make sure that you're being specific. You make your goal time sensitive. So you're picking a time that you want to have this accomplished by, that you are intentional about what you're doing. You're writing down action steps that you're going to take in order to make this happen. And then R is that you are going to keep it results focused. You're going to focus on your results and the action steps that you're going to take to make those results happen. And that is another episode. You could go listen to the whole thing if you want to. But in order to make this change, to make the best of the rest of your life, you have to make decisions. So first, we're going to recognize where you currently are, where you're satisfied and dissatisfied in your life, and think about what your purpose is. What does God want you to do? You really need to spend some time with God, asking Him, hey, what do you want me to do? I don't know what to do here. And you take some steps, and as you start taking the steps, He starts being able to light the path for you, one foot at a time. But if you don't take any steps, you're never going to move. You're going to be in the one spot, unhappy and dissatisfied. So you've got to take some steps. And if you are not going in the right direction, God is going to light the path a different way so that you can make a change or a shift or an adjustment in order to keep moving forward. So secondly, You're going to revise. So you're going to think about how you want your life to look. Think about the things that bring you joy. What is it that just makes you well up on the inside with excitement and happiness and joy? And then what would make you feel fulfilled? There are things that we do on the daily that don't make us very fulfilled. I am not fulfilled by doing dishes or laundry, but after they're done, I feel fulfilled in the fact that my house looks nice, my dishes are clean. When I reach for one, it is there. I haven't run out of utensils, which has actually happened. So think about those things and then reinvent. This is where you're going to make the change and you're going to write down the steps that you're going to take to make the change and when you are going to complete these steps toward this change. Because if you don't have that, you're never going to do it. Well, I guess if you're a perfectionist out there, you might, but for any of the procrastinators out there, you just have to have that timeline or else you're just going to keep putting it off. So that is what I'm thinking about for you guys today. I want you to think about what it is that you actually want for the second half of your life. And keep in mind my uncle who is 95, who's already lived my life twice. You know what I'm saying? Like he's twice my age. So think about that and that he's still able to drive and he is very sharp minded. Like he does not forget stuff. That could be you at 95. So what do you want to do with the next half of your life? How do you want to spend this? What do you want to end up doing? I was just chatting with a woman the other day who is 68 and she is no longer at her job because of health conditions, but or medical conditions rather. And so we were chatting about what could be some possibilities for her. And she is thinking about starting a new home-based business. And as we were talking about it, she was sharing what it is she wanted to do. And you could hear her voice. You could hear it. There was just so much excitement that, wait a minute, this could be possible. Do you think I could actually do this and make money at this? I was like, of course I do. This is a great idea. And all of a sudden, all these other ideas started bubbling up. And she was like, oh my gosh, maybe I could do this and maybe this. And yes, you can. We can work towards that. A lot of the ladies that I work with inside my home biz mentorship program are at about the midlife stage. Like the majority of us in there have children that are already grown up and moved out on their own. I think I have one or two that still might have little kids at home, but for the most part, there's all of us just living this adventure of life, trying new things, seeing if they work, seeing if they don't work. I've had lots of times that things I've tried in my business did not work. And I spent a day or two feeling a little bit disappointed about it. And at the same time telling myself, hey, you don't have to be disappointed about this because you tried and it didn't work out the way you wanted it to this time. But you're going to try something new and, try it a different way and see if that gets better results. It's kind of the fun and the challenge of life is just trying new things, seeing what happens, and realizing that when it doesn't come out the way you wanted, it's not the end of the world. You just keep trying something different because you learn as you go. You start getting better ideas, being more creative, and making things happen that you never thought were possible even a year ago. So I just want to encourage you with that today. My blueprint for thriving in midlife: recognize, revise, and reinvent. So I hope you guys have an amazing week this week, and I will be talking to you again next week. See you soon. Bye.